I've been learning a lot and doing these independent contracting gigs. The biggest thing about it is like, you gotta pay your own taxes at the end of the year. You know, it's all tax-free money, but not really. It's teaching you to be responsible and basically be your own businessman. How to save your receipts, how to be organized, how to be in order. You know, things like that. Of course, spending habits, everything. Just being lined up with all of that. And take discipline, pretty much. That's what this is about. I'll be watching different people that speak on the Lord, on spiritual journeys, on and I wanted to break down, it's about discipline. Like, for example, in the Bible has commandments, because if you have no control, then you pretty much can't accomplish anything. You can't grow soulfully. You can't, move in power, because you're simply would be weak to everything with no discipline. So if, for example, you were trying to be abstinent, or you wanted to be a vegan, or you wanted to save money, whatever, you want to meditate, you want to get in touch with the source, you want to read more, whatever it is, it's going to take discipline in order to better yourself. So on a soul journey, basically, if you have no discipline or no concept of a commandment, or no concept of what your body is asking for, your soul is asking for, or your body when it comes to dietary and nutrition, then there's no way you're going to be able to grow. So when it comes down to the soul, there are laws that govern the soul through the Creator. And you have to learn how to listen and follow them in order to be disciplined and to grow. Because if you don't follow the law and order of the soul that the Creator, the Father, has given you, which are commandments and many other things that your soul will know. It's like when you first born, or when you 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 even, and you steal something, you feel bad. Even if nobody saw you. You know what I'm saying? Like you did something wrong. And that's kind of like how the soul is in a broader perspective. You know when you're doing wrong, you know when you're doing right. And I'm not talking about, just cussing somebody out, or I'm talking about doing right by your soul, doing right by your purpose. It takes discipline. So yes, there's things that you do have to follow in order to get stronger in the soul. And so I just wanted to touch on that, because I'll see a couple brothers out there talking to people about the concept of the Bible and why about following laws and this, that, and the third. And that's clearly understandable, because you need discipline in order to grow the soul. If you continuously feeding the flesh, like if you say, if you got a wife and you don't want to cheat on your wife, but you addicted to tail or head or whatever it is, and you keep going against yourself, then you at war with yourself. And people be like, it's the devil or the dark or whatever it is. No, you're at war with yourself, because you wasn't programmed in discipline. And most of us from our culture, being Nubian, quote unquote black, or Israelites, or whatever they want to call us, we lack discipline, And I feel like our circumstance should have taught us more discipline. But it's like, when we get something, we just wild out, or we have no moderation, or we have no humility to us. And this is not about race, you know what I'm saying? But I'm a soul first. Well, I represent my race as well, but I'm a soul first. So if I see somebody from my race acting like a demon, and somebody from another race trying to actually build their soul, it says something. Something's being said. They might have some type of ancestry deep back in them, even though they look like this now. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I can't call that. You know what I'm saying? I just can't walk around with hate in my heart. I don't agree with racism. You know what I'm saying? Shit. If I wasn't awake and didn't know that all these political parties were staged, then yeah, I'll be a Black Panther to this day. You know what I'm saying? Malcolm X. But that's a whole nother conversation about how all this was staged and different people was funding those parties and stuff like that in order for them to keep going at a certain point. You know what I'm saying? Because you could look at the last of the leaders of those movements today and see where they are, and you can tell it was government infiltrated. So, this is people need to realize this is a soul spiritual war. We at war. We wrestle not against flesh and blood, but principalities of darkness in higher places. You know what I'm saying? And once we realize that, through the discipline, we'll rise above. You know what I mean? And that's what this is about. This is about discipline. It's about discipline and morals and principles, and really understanding where we are right now at hand. I mean, yeah, the matrix is deep. Is so deep. It's so much to it on many different tiers and realms. You have to learn how to be here, have balance in the present, as well as be in the spiritual realm at the same time, for those that have awoken and been chosen for whatever reason, for whatever purpose that you have on this planet. So, and it's a task. That's the task at hand. That's the real task. Discovering yourself and being able to operate in a third dimensional plane while you know that you're not basically fully human. You know you damn near pure soul. And that's where it's at. Like, as you can begin to chip away at everything and get more disciplined, you become more soul than human. You begin to attract different things and like beings, if you will, or beings that are not, because that's the nature of the war. That's the nature of the beast that we facing right now. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, there is a creator, there is a higher power, and there's a reason for discipline and the test that we're facing. You know what I'm saying? So let's get disciplined. You know, let's get right. And I'm not saying I'm the most righteous person in the world. What I'm saying is that I do follow dietary laws. I do have discipline, workout. I guess they call it semen retention. You know what I'm saying? Things like that, until I find a woman that shares the same mind and, same frequency, same soul, and believe in the things that I believe in. No, you don't have to believe in exactly what I believe in, because this is not what this is about. This is about soul growth. I'm not going to press a belief on you, but what I will say is there's a creator. You have to acknowledge him. There's deeds that you have to, and commandments that you have to follow. Because if not, we be willy-nilly. You know what I'm saying? We be out here killing people every day, following every dark thought that pass through our mind. So we got to learn that discipline, control the mind, control the body. You know what I'm saying? And then that's when you become alignment with the Lord. That's when you can hear. You can start hearing those ascendants, which they call them angels. But you start to be able to hear your ascendants. You know what I'm saying? Your guardians that you were born with. And that's when the growth starts, because you stop doing the things that you used to do and you become disciplined and do things that you've never done. And then that's when you become great, because you're doing things you've never done. All right. So I just want to holler. I'm out here getting some sun and just thinking about life, you know, trying to figure out how I'm gonna get out of my situation. I haven't made a whole bunch of money yet, but definitely gained some lessons, and always ear wide open, always. So, yeah, just hit me, email me, drop a comment below if you got any questions. Press the like button. Stay continuous, for sure.